I will now like to call this meeting of the McHenry County Zoning Board of Appeals to order. Our agenda for today is hearing petition number 2023-035. The applicant is Cheryl Sandu, owner of record, and the request is a reclassification from the A2 Agricultural District to the I1 Light Industrial District. The PIN number for this property is 17-23-200-039. The address is 15419 Marengo Road, Union, Illinois. The property consists of approximately 7.939 acres and is located on the south side of Marengo Road, approximately 600 feet west of Seaman Road in Coral Township. At this time, I'd like the board members to introduce themselves and the township in which they reside, starting on my right.
Kurt Schnabel, Riley Township.
Vicki Gardner, Nunda Township.
I'm Linnea Kustra in Alden Township.
Charlie Eldridge, Richmond Township.
Robert Cozen, Algonquin Township.
Mary Donner, Greenwood Township.
This petition has been reviewed and the following items have been received prior to today's scheduled hearing. The publisher's certificate of publication from a newspaper is dated October 3rd, 2023, and thereby meets ordinance requirements. The affidavit of posting was signed and the date posted was October 3rd, 2023, and thereby meets ordinance requirements. The affidavit of mailing was signed and the date mailed was October 2nd, 2023. The survey has been checked against the petition, legal notice, and publication in the newspaper, and all three match. The filing fees have been paid. The endangered species consultation was not required for this petition. The McHenry County Soil and Water Conservation District report has been received. For further information, please refer to NRI number L23-072-4532. At this time, I would like to recognize the petitioner and anyone else who thinks they might be speaking today. This would include any member of the public who might be asking a question of testimony or speaking themselves as a comment on the petition. I would need to swear you in, so anyone that would like to do so, please raise your right hand, including the petitioner.
So anyone that wants to speak, please raise your right hand.
And if you're not sure, just raise your hand if you think you might want to speak, but you're not sure. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, so now I'd like to explain a little bit about how this hearing works. The petitioner will present their case to the board. Why they think why this should be approved, what reasonings they have. Then they will be asked questions by the board. After that, staff might have some questions for them. After that, any member of the public would have the opportunity to ask a question of the petitioner. And at such time, if you want to do that, you'll have to come up to this microphone here on my right. You have to give your name and address, and then you'll have up to 3 minutes to be able to ask questions. Now, I want to remind you that those questions have to do with the testimony that the petitioner has given. And then if you want to make a comment, you will do that later in the hearing. But at this point, it would just be a question regarding his testimony. After that is finished, then staff will give their report to the board. The board might have questions for staff. After all that is finished, then if you want to give a comment, you would do the same thing. You would go up to the microphone when it's your turn, and you have up to 3 minutes to give your comments. And I would ask you that if several people have already asked the same question or said the same comment, you don't have to reiterate it over and over, if it's the same, I might end up limiting it if it gets to be the same thing over and over, because the board will understand what your concerns are. So anyhow, that's how it will work, and then at the end of the hearing, we only have 6 people here today. The petitioner is entitled to 7 votes. So if he wants to wait until another member can then read the transcript, because this meeting is being recorded. So then I ask you to please be quiet so that the recording can pick up the person who's speaking, because one person might have to be listening to this to then be able to vote on it. So at this time, I will turn it over to the petitioner, and you can explain to us your case and why you want this done.
It is on.
Hi, my name is Cyril Sandon. I'm the petitioner, and I want to do the rezoning from A2 to A1. I want to improve a little bit the property, and also I needed more room for parking my vehicles, the semi-trucks, not for whole property. I need like, let's say like 2-3 acres from this property to reuse, not from agriculture to I1, parking the semi-trucks. But the rest of the property, I mean, the rest of the acre, I don't want to use for semi-trucks. I want to improve, to put the tree, the grass, I mean, to keep it on the same how is now.
Okay, there are standards in our ordinance that you need to meet, and I think those are on, if you have the packet in front of you, they would be on page 14. And if you could address those for me, that would be great.
Yeah, I think no, that part I don't have.
Show the people you go. So maybe Anna, you could put them, or Kit, you could put them up on the screen so the public can see them as well. So these are our approval standards for a map amendment that need to be met for this to be approved. So if you could address those, sir.
Okay, the
First one is the compatibility of the proposed zoning with the existing use and zoning of nearby property. That's kind of, you know, what you want this to be zoned. Is it, does that fit in? Does that match what's around you? That's what you need to explain.
it's not really matching for the neighbors. I'm only one who wanted to rezone it. The rest around the properties is the A2 and the residence. Sorry. Only the house and the agriculture is around, and only the one. But it's not really affected the neighbors, because I'm on on the corner, and the neighbors it's far away from my property.
Okay, the next one would be the extent of which the property values of your property are diminished by the existing zoning. So if your property was to stay the same as it is?
No, I mean, after, if we approve for rezoning, I want to prove the property and the value of the property will be increased. Like, let's say, if up to 500K will be the value for the property will be increased.
Okay, the next one is to the extent in which the public health, safety, and welfare of the public are promoted by your existing zoning.
For the existing will be better for the county because will bring the more employers and potential buyer for the houses around the property.
Okay, and the next one, the relative gain to the public as compared to the hardship imposed upon you if the proposed zoning is denied.
Yes. Just a second. Oh,
Do you understand the question?
yeah, I understand. I'm trying to
Okay,
explain.
right, that's okay, right,
It's a little bit harder for
yeah,
me.
I understand.
The sorry. Can you go for the next one? please?
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. The suitability of the property for the purposes for which it's presently zoned. So is your property suitable as an A2 property as it is?
Yeah, yes, it is. It's the active current zoning is the age.
And you're saying it is suitable for that purpose as it is now?
Yes.
The length of time that your property has been vacant as zoned, but it hasn't been vacant and as zoned. What's the land development in the vicinity of your property? You know, what kinds of development are there?
It's for
The properties around you, what kind of uses are they?
yeah, the property around, it's only the HU, like crossing the street, and on the side, the same, it's the HU, it's nobody around, like around the properties with the other zoning, like the B3 or industrial.
And the community need for your proposed use?
Yes. Yes, she can, park the trucks, the commercial vehicles or the snow trucks can be used and park it on the property.
And finally, the consistency of your proposed change in use, your proposed amendment with the comprehensive plan of the county and the appropriateness of the comprehensive plan for your property. So, look at here, the comprehensive plan.
Yeah.
For your property is designated as estate zoning, medium density residential. And so do you think that your I-1 would be compatible with the estate zoning that the comprehensive plan is calling for?
Yes, it's not better because it's on the corner and it's not affected the state value. And I mean, can't say like it's not affected the state.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to mention before we have questions?
No.
Okay, I'll start with questions on my right. Mr. Schnabel?
Yes, good afternoon. You turn that on, that's better. I do have a few questions just to get the ball rolling, get us started here. How long have you owned this property?
A few months.
A few months. There's a house on the property?
Yes.
You live in that house?
No.
Did I see somewhere in our notes that there was a trailer of some kind on the property at a certain point?
Yes, it's my trailer. I use it like on the weekends for spending the time with the family.
Is this a motorized camper or a tow
The
line?
camper, the RV tow trailer.
I see. And you're living in there right now or just occasional? No. Where do you live at, if I might ask?
I'm living like on the here 10 minutes from this property.
So that's the address that's on your application?
Yeah.
I'd like to discuss these trucks with you for just a moment. How many and of what type of trucks and trailers are we talking about here that you're envisioning?
I own the trucking company, the heavy duty, the semi trucks. And now, I mean, I want to do the rezoning because I don't have enough parking for the my trucks. And I looking like to park for only the my units. I have around the own, I have like 20 units. The semi truck and trailers.
20 tractors and trailers
Yes.
roughly. Where are they stored? Where have they been stored previously?
Right now I have the shop, repair shop on Northbrook, and I keep it there.
And you need to move them because why?
The taxes is so expensive. And the rent
Yeah.
on the Cook County.
Definitely some truth there, I'm sure. What is your trucking business exactly? Do you own these trucks or are other owners of these trucks?
No, I own the trucks.
You own trucks?
Yes, I own the trucking company and I own the truck repair shop.
You have a truck repair shop in
Yes, on the Northbrook.
Northbrook. What are these trucks used for? You must be hauling something?
Yeah, they're hauling the flatbed. The flatbed,
Flatbed?
yes.
And what do you haul with the flatbeds?
Everything, the materials, construction, everything for the construction.
So are you basically like a contract carrier? Or you just job by job, different place to different place? you describe that?
No, it's over, I working on the all 48 states. I mean, it's carry the roads like coast to coast.
Are these trucks insured in the state of Illinois?
Yes.
Okay. I have a note here from our department that said that when someone was out at your site to visit, they saw that you had made some improvements already, apparently without a permit, and that they advised that code enforcement would be letting you know of violations and that you would have to take care of. Can you tell us where that whole process sits right now?
About the violation?
The violations.
Yeah.
What work were you doing and what were you cited for?
No, I just gravel the land a little bit and put the stone gravel and they park the two semi-trucks and 4 personal trailers there, but it's not the commercial, only the 2 units commercial. The other 4 trailers is the personal.
Did you have to install a new drive, the culvert pipe or anything like that?
The driveway is the same, just gravel with the skid loader. I put the stone gravel.
Have you had any discussions with this department about paving your storage area or installing some with fencing around it?
Yeah, I was asking to install the fence around the property.
And it doesn't seem real specific to me on this plan. Can you give me the approximate size of this storage area? I don't see it depicted on the picture on your property.
I want,
Unless you have it somewhere else, you know.
So Anna, did you have that picture for I show you before? Or?
I'm sorry.
Oh, I can show. Can I come to the computer to show?
You can come right up.
So
to the
probably the screen would be
Okay.
better. Yeah.
You see the house, is that the driveway that you were extending?
No, now over the duration, I have like 40 feet by 100 feet. How is the concrete plate? I put the stone gravel, and here just I put the same a little bit the stone gravel on the top of the grass. But on the future, I want it from this corner up here, let's say around 200 feet by 300 feet from this corner up. I wanted to make the fence and storage the trucks.
Okay. That's all I'm going to ask you right now. I'll pass it on to my colleagues. Thank you.
Ms. Gardner?
Thank you. Is there anyone living in the house now?
No,
Okay. Now, you said you had approximately 20 trucks that you wanted to park on this property.
yes,
Okay, and in the future, would you be adding to that number, or would you stay with 20 trucks?
no, I don't want to read it. I will stay with the 20 trucks.
Okay. How often are these trucks moved?
Normally, like it's around 5-6 days per week, it stay on the road, and now it's coming only on over the weekend, and on the holidays coming home, the trucks.
So they just stay there on weekends and the holidays?
Yes,
Okay, but the rest of the time, somebody comes, parks on the property, gets in a truck and drives it away?
yes,
Okay, and that's 20 trucks, 5 to 6 days a week, you're saying?
yeah.
Okay. Is there a schedule that these trucks are picked up and moved, or is it just kind of when the need arises?
No, I mean, can be like in a Monday, can be in the Tuesday, coming, pick up the truck and leave, and coming like, let's say, next week, in the 2 in the morning, and just grab the truck and go.
Excuse me, remember to be quiet, this is being recorded.
Had you, other than the you put gravel on the driveway, is that what you said?
No, the road driveway, I don't touch it, it's stay how it was before.
Okay, but where did you put the gravel?
Like, from,
Go ahead up there and show
yeah,
me.
it's from here up to here, I spread this one, make it a small driveway.
A driveway or a parking pad?
No, it's just better like to be able to don't stop on the grass of the car.
Okay, so, and if you didn't have the trucks on the property, you would have the truck drivers' cars parked there, is that right?
Yes,
Okay, so you need ample parking for cars and trucks,
yes.
and that would be separate areas.
No, the driver when he come pick up the truck, will put it on the same spot the cars. It just switches like the truck from the car to the car.
Okay.
I just would like to clarify here for a moment, that this request is for an I-1 zoning. So we're talking about gravel and where trucks are placed, but this is not a conditional use. Anything in our ordinance that is allowed under I-1 would be allowed on this property. So, you know, we might have questions, but it's really a rezoning to I-1
Right.
that we're looking at.
Yes, I just wanted to get more specific about what this man plans to use it for. So, okay, I'll pass.
Mr. Eldridge,
I have no questions at this time.
Mr. Cozen.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. If we can go back to the work that has been undertaken to date, is there lighting installed or is lighting proposed in the parking area? Lighting standards, lighting of the parking,
Lights.
Yeah, the lights, right.
is lighting proposed or has lighting already been installed?
Prepared. Sorry,
That's okay. Is there lighting there now?
no,
But lighting is proposed.
yes.
You had mentioned your opinion that the value of the property has increased. What was the basis of your opinion?
Because I know from this property what I living right now in the Norwood, the owner did it the same how I want to do, and now the property like was borrowed like for 100K, and now with the owner he wanted to say like 3.5 million.
At the time of your purchase, were you aware of the zoning of the property?
No, because when I was bought the property was thinking like to build a new house, but when after I bought it was changed my mind, and I was thinking the reason.
When you were looking for property, at the time you changed your mind, were you looking at other properties?
Yes.
And were they in this general area or elsewhere?
No, I was looking like for to buy a commercial property already on the West Chicago and East Dundee there, and it was the same under the contract, but the government broken the contract.
How long have you owned or used the property in Northbrook?
I use the property remote group for already 6 years.
Do you have any requests or plans to run utilities in the parking area or the storage area of the trucks? Utilities, water, sewer?
No, the water, no. Only on the night time, the lights and the camera, the supervision.
And when the trucks are in that location, do you maintain the trucks or provide service or fueling?
On the rainbow, on the window?
The one that you're proposing right now?
No, I don't want that. All the maintenance will be on the company.
May I interrupt for just 1 second?
Please.
Okay. We have people that are listening to this and they're saying that because your mouth is right up against the microphone, they're having a hard time understanding. So just a couple inches away from the microphone.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'll try it as well. I seem to be breaking in and out. Sorry. I have no further questions at this time.
Ms. Donner?
Hello, hello. Now it's not on, right? Is it on?
No, right this second. So where is you?
Could you hear me that way?
So it takes a second. It should be good now. Go ahead.
Okay. For the lighting that you are going to be putting on this property, if this goes through, there is a standard. I don't know if it has to do with, because this, I'm sorry, this is my first actual meeting where I'm not sitting where you are.
Turn your mic on.
I got the mic, I think. Do I have the mic?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't usually need it. But that lighting, I've been to farms where they've had the sodium vapor lights, and it not only lights up the barn, it lights up the house, it lights up next door. Will your lighting be consistent, or can we require that?
No.
No, we can't require it, that's why you have a CUP. Okay, will your lighting be down lighting where it's specific to the area that you're going to be so that you're not lighting everything up? Is that an appropriate question?
It's an appropriate question.
Okay.
No, the light will be down and will be have the motion detection. Only when needed or turn on the lights.
Okay, and where the vehicles will be held, are they going to be on grass? Are they going to be on stone? Are they going to be gravel? Are they going to be on mulch? I don't know.
The vehicles will be parked like will be prepared the stone gravel area for the vehicles.
My concern is that if you're on anything other than that, that when the tractors go, or the trucks go through, the dirt on the wheels and other things that can affect the road.
No.
Okay. Okay, no further questions at this time.
Okay, I just have a couple of questions. It looks like through the minutes of your discussions with staff that you really intend for this to be a storage yard as defined in our ordinance, and that's why you decided to go to I-1 versus conditional use permit. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay, but you understand that under our ordinance, when you ask for I-1, it could be a storage yard, it could be a gas station, it could be anything that's allowed by right in an I-1 district that could be placed on this property. Do you think that would be compatible if you were living next door in, a neighborhood?
Yes, will not be affected the neighborhoods because the truck is not making the noise. I mean, and will be most of the times will be out of the property the trucks.
Okay, my other questions will be for staff. So I'll ask Ms. Kurtzman, do you have any questions?
No questions at this time.
Okay, so now anyone from the public that would like to ask a question, again, I'm going to use my phone and a 3-minute timer, and I asked just so that, so that we don't have too much repetition. If someone else has asked the question, you don't need to ask the same question. We've got that information. So you, sir, would like to ask a question, so please, and you've all been sworn in.
Yes, I would. I live at
Lee, First, you have
9406.
to identify yourself. your name.
Theodore Robinson. My address is 9406. You can see it right there in the corner. So I'm directly impacted by what he plans to do. His lighting.
Question.
Okay, but now you have to ask a
I know.
question.
Well, my question is he going to rent spaces out?
Well, you have to ask him the questions.
Are you going to rent out spaces?
No, I using only for my company.
So nobody, independents, are going to be coming to your lot, just your trucks?
Yes, right,
And you have 20?
yes.
And you don't plan on expanding?
No, because I want to use for the storage for my trucks, but in the future I want to borrow the property somewhere on the south with the repair shop, because on the 3 years it's expired on my lease with the shop, and I'm moving out.
And you're not going to do any repairs?
No,
Where will you do those?
which,
Well, if you have 20 trucks, they have to be repaired sometime.
yeah, I repair in my Northbrook location.
Okay, it seems like an awful far away, Northbrook.
You
make
make
sure
sure
you're
you're speaking into the microphone.
I'm sorry, it seems like it's an awful far, it's an awful long drive. I go over the road, so I know about trucks. Questions?
Question, sir.
Comments?
Make sure it's a
I
question.
know. So, I guess so you're saying you're not gonna do any repairs there, you're not gonna add any more trucks, and you're not gonna let any independents or anybody else park on that lot?
Yes.
And you're gonna keep your lighting low so that when I go out in my backyard, I won't have to, I'll still be able to see the stars.
Yeah, you'll be able to see the stars.
Just for clarification though, if it's I-1, there would be no limits. I mean, if it's I-1 and you can put 30 trucks on there, the county wouldn't be able to limit. I mean, it's an I-1, it would be an I-1 designation.
Can you please clarify that?
Anna, could you verify that?
So this, I will talk when the room is quiet. Thank you very much, appreciate that. The question was clarifying that although the applicant has indicated that he currently has 20 vehicles and he has no intent of expanding the number of vehicles, under the I-1 designation, the designation that he's seeking, whether it's him or anyone else that may own the property, there is no limitation other than what physically can be accommodated on the property on the number of trucks that could potentially be parked on this property.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, hi, my name is Phil Engel, and I live at 9703 Seaman Road. And I just had a few questions. One was, if you're planning on putting in lights, how tall are the light structures that you're planning on putting in?
It's will be around 15, 16 feet high to be on the top of the trucks. The truck has like 14.5.
So you gotta get taller than the truck?
Yes, like 1 feet tall.
And how many of those lights, light fixtures do you plan on putting in?
Like on each corner and on the gate.
So how many is this?
Yeah, 4, 5 total.
And you indicated that you believe that by making these improvements to the property, that you're going to increase the value of the surrounding property, is that correct?
Yes,
And I believe you testified that you based that on improvements you made to a Northbrook property, is that correct?
not me, the owner of the property, the Northbrook. I lease the property.
In order to form your opinion, did you look at any of the comparables or the values of property immediately in the vicinity of this property?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. Did you compare, when you determined that your improvements were gonna enhance the value of the property, in order to get to that conclusion, did you compare did you look at properties that were surrounding this within like a 1 mile radius to see how they may have been impacted?
Yes, I was looking the same on the Marengo. Because like on the US communities, I remember the address was has the 20 acre with the small workhouse and this conversion is the B3 was for sale for 3 millions.
And you're saying that's within a 1 mile radius of where the property is?
Maybe more. There should be more because it's like if you know where the truck stop, the TA and the lots, it's not far away from there. Like it's 5-10 minutes from there.
Did you consider buying any property near the truck stop or off Route 20?
No.
Now, you indicate that you own your own trucking company, correct?
Yes.
And how long have you owned that trucking company?
I have it for 5 years.
And I believe you testified earlier that you've been at the Northbrook location for 6 years.
Yes.
So did you buy the company from somebody else?
No.
That's your last question. Anyone else, would anyone else like to ask a question?
Can somebody else defer their time to me so I can finish asking questions?
No, they can ask questions.
Good
There's
question.
plenty of people in the room. Go ahead, sir.
Dan Zeller, need the address?
Speak really into the microphone.
1220 Ernest Road, High. Do you know what underground tile drainage is?
No.
Well, you have several mains running through that piece of property that carry water for hundreds of acres in that neighborhood. And you're gonna put that lot right on top of it. That's not gonna work.
Question.
You're going to hit, well, question, does he understand what they are? Do you plan on protecting those? You really don't have a choice, but I gotta ask you a question.
Yeah, we'll ask the architect and he will help me how to do this.
Well, you're gonna learn as we go forward here that those will have to be protected. That's all I got.
Anyone else have a question? No applause. It's just not allowed. It's just not appropriate.
How's it going? Keith Lessman, 9510 Old Top Road. How many employees do you have at your trucking company?
One place.
You have one employee?
All on the employees, I have 28.
So you have 28 employees. All right, that's the first question. You said before that you think the property values will increase. Are you assuming that, are you thinking that the question we're asking is, will the property that you purchased increase? So if you make these improvements to the land that you purchased, is that what you're saying, the value will increase once you make those improvements?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe the homes around you, surrounding you, will increase in value or decrease in value if you're granted the opportunity to have this zoning?
I will increase the value.
Can you tell me how you believe that?
Because most of the truck drivers, what is working for me, will be looking for a house around.
So what about the people who already live there and don't want to sell their homes and don't want those values to go? you tell me, do you think, would you live next door to this property with 20 trucks working all around the clock? The reason I asked that question is because you already said you're not going to live on the property on the house that's on the property already.
Yes, because I was thinking to live on this property to building the new house. If I if it would be possible, like, to rezoning to I1 and to build a house, yes, we'll be living on this property, 100%.
But you're not planning on living in that property now, even though it's not zoned that way, correct?
But right now, no, I will not live in there.
Last question. Anna, if it's zoned I1, he would not be allowed to build a house, correct?
So houses are not allowed in the I-1 district. The existing house, it would be non-conforming, you would be able to use that, assuming that it's not vacant for more than a year. If it's vacant for a year, then that use ceases.
Okay. All right, next person.
Joe Lockey, I live at 1116 Seaman Road. And I have a question for you guys first. The zoning,
This question is for him.
okay, are you aware that you can build anything there if you get the zoning approved?
If you have heard the zoning approved, I want to building only the parking lot. I mean, not our buildings will be.
Well, my next door neighbor asked, since the property's worth so much more, is your plan to just sell it to, you know, a gas station, a mart, be worth a lot more than a parking lot?
No, no, it's not really good area for the gas station or how.
So, and you have no plans, as you told everybody here, of expanding your business ever?
No, because I was looking, how to say before, when I start to finish my lease in the 3 years on the Northbrook, I want to borrow to buy the property, the commercial property with the shop on the property already, on the south.
Okay, do you have a special permit now to park trucks there? Because you got a bunch there.
I have only 2 commercial units parked on the property and 4 personal trailers on the property.
And that's, okay, that's
Yes,
zoning, or you just?
give the correct zoning, I was asking and say yes, 2 commercial vehicles with no permit, I can park on the property.
So, but you put the gravel down and all that without permits, or, I don't know if that's okay, but.
Yeah, the gravel, yes, I put it on the property, where is parking right now, the trucks.
Okay, all right. I know that thing's gonna start beeping.
Anyone else have a question for the petitioner?
Oh,
Get some distance, because we're making a verbatim transcript and we can't understand anything you're saying.
Okay,
Okay,
sure.
thank you.
It's 14614 Maringo Road. How
And
do
your
you,
name?
oh, Jessica Degner. How do you plan on getting these trucks safely in and out of the driveway there? Because this is a curve of the road in Maringo and the rest of the road is also very curvy. And I know this for a fact because several accidents happen right around this area as well. So how do you plan on getting these trucks safely in and out of this driveway?
I want to make it on the middle of the property. I want to make it the second driveway, and it's far away from the curb, and it's when you go in and out, the trucks will be the cars on the coming traffic.
Well, it's 55 miles per hour speed limit there. Are you proposing to try and lessen the speed limit on the road there as well then?
No.
Okay, so then what would the plan be to help these trucks get on and off without proper turning lanes or entrance in and out of the property that you're proposing?
For the I'll make it wider the driveway to be able the trucks to get at the speed before when entering on the driveway. on the, sorry.
So are you gonna have
Okay, you-
people on Marengo Road slowing the traffic coming if you have a truck acting like it's an on-ramp? Because you're talking, you've got high school students and driver's ed cars and school buses on this road 24/7. So do you plan on putting your own people out on the road to slow them down if you've got a semi taken off?
No.
Thank you.
Jeanette Powers, 9507 Knolltop in Union. Question for you. It is known fact that semi-trucks open up their gas pails or the gas, whatever, and they let out the oil, or the oil pans, and they let out the oil from the trucks while they're waiting, resting. What are you going to be doing with all that oil that goes into our land, into the water supply? Because we have septic tanks all over there and wells. What about all the oil that goes into the land? How are you going to clean that up and make sure that's not an environmental hazard? There's children that live right around
Let him answer the question.
land. How are we going to keep our children safe?
Nobody will open the oil pans or the fuel tanks to leaking on the property because we'll not do the maintenance on the property.
Oh,
And
what if trucks break down? Where's that truck that broke down on your property? How is that going to get fixed?
I have the tow truck and they can tow the truck to the shop to fix it.
They're going to tow the truck all the way from here to Northbrook to
Yes.
get it fixed.
Yes.
Your store that you have, your trucking facility that you have in Northbrook, that you have 28 people working for you there. You said it's under lease?
Yes.
And the lease is 3 years?
Yes.
And when that 3-year lease is up, what do you plan to do with all those trucks that you have?
Because in the 3 years I looking to buy the property.
You buy what property?
The commercial property, like with the shop.
A commercial property where
Yeah.
trucking belongs, not a commercial
sorry,
property that
this
does
is
not
her
belong in a
question.
residential area, is what you plan to do in the future.
Yes, in the future.
But right now, you plan to buy this property that is in a residential area. Because why, taxes are cheaper here, is that what you said?
No.
Can't afford the taxes.
Please let him answer the question, you're interrupting him.
This property I bought it because I was thinking to build the house for me to live in. But the lease, I renewed the lease on the September this year, and they increased me the lease. And I was starting first to looking to buy a property, but the price is so high now for the commercial properties. And I already spoke with the realtor state, and was supposed to be like to go down a little bit the interest and lower the prices for the commercial properties. And in 2 years, I'm thinking to buy a commercial property on the, I say, West Chicago, East Dundee, on the Delta area. I'm thinking to buy the property for future when I will finish the lease on the Northbrook.
Okay, time's up. I want to clarify that this hearing is for this property and this land use. It has nothing to do with where he has his business elsewhere or, even the specific person. This hearing is about this property and whether this property is suitable for the use that he is asking for.
Is there a format where we can ask?
I just want you to understand, and that's what this board votes on, is whether this property is suitable for the use that he is requesting in this area. So now go ahead if you have another question.
My name is Charlotte Ariola. I live at 7214 Seaman Road in Huntley. My question is, when you started your business 5 years ago, you said 5 years, I think, how many trucks and employees did you have then?
I was starting with the 3 trucks and 5 employers.
So you grew from 3 trucks and 5 employees 5 years ago, and now you have 20 and 28 employees, right? And so in the next 5 years, you don't foresee any growth, even though you've made tremendous growth in these past 5 years.
I don't want to increase because it's too much problems. It's more than enough for me.
Okay, and then also another question. You said you only plan to put gravel on the property. I'm not sure about the zoning, if it allows like paving. Would you have planned to put paving down, blacktop, for your trucks to park on? Or anything like that in the future?
No, only the gravel and the metal fencing, that's it.
Metal fencing and,
Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
My name's Steve Sartell. I live at 11214 Seaman Road. I had a question. Where is the access to this property going to be from Marengo Road or Seaman Road?
No, from Marengo Road.
And there's going to be no plans for using Seaman Road to get access down to the truck stops to the tollway?
No.
So we won't, because that's an 8-ton weight limit on that road?
Yeah.
You're aware of that?
I do, from my property, I don't have the access to that road, only from Marengo Road.
Only from Marengo?
Yes.
Okay, that's my only question.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sandhu. Tyler Wilkie, I'm with Zancone Rice and Salad. Sorry about that. Question for you. Were you represented by council when you purchased the property?
Excuse me?
Were you represented when you purchased the property?
Yeah.
Did you discuss with them the intention of parking vehicles here?
No, because I already said before, I was thinking to build a house personal. And afterward, I bought the property, was changed the mind and I want to rezoning.
Okay. The use of a storage yard is allowable under I-1, but it's also allowed as a conditional use under a B3 zoning. Why did you choose to go I-1 instead of B3?
I was thinking first to do the B3, but I was thinking, and the same, the wife was telling me it's better like for the company, for my company, not to be located on this area. It's far away from the city, and also for all the drivers, what is all for us will be far away, and it's better to purchase a new property a little bit closer to the interstate, like from 294, 290, it's closer on that area.
Okay. But concerning this property, is there any reason why you'd want it by right rather than by conditional use?
Can you repeat?
I'm sorry. Is there a reason why you would want it in the industrial rather than in a business with a conditional use permit?
I was thinking to buy commercial, right? I mean, from the beginning, but it's so expensive now, and the interest, the same, is so expensive. This is why I don't want to buy right now the commercial property.
Okay. No further questions.
All right.
Glenn Gorin, 9418 Old Top. How many fuel tanks can you put on this property?
I don't want to put the fuel tanks on the property.
I didn't ask whether you were going to. How many can you?
The fuel tanks?
As an industrial reclassification, you can put fuel tanks on the property, correct?
You want to address it for me, please?
So the zoning code does not limit the number of fuel tanks per se. That's under the fire code more than it is under the zoning.
Right.
So this would not address the question that you're asking.
Pardon?
You're asking about the number of fuel tanks. Zoning has nothing to do with the number of fuel
Got it.
tanks.
So do those fuel tanks have to be above or below ground?
That would be a fire department and a building division.
But the I classification would allow that.
If the building code and the fire codes would allow it, then potentially it could be placed there.
Okay. How much of that property can you pave?
What do you mean?
Either with concrete, asphalt, because there's no way you're gonna flip trucks around. I used to spot trailers. So you need quite a large area to turn trucks around and maneuver them.
Yes. How to say, I was looking like to make a like 300 by 200 wide
Okay.
the space to park in the trucks, and it's more than enough the space to turn in the trucks and park.
What are you gonna do for snow removal? Because you're gonna be dragging debris out onto that road, and it's really dangerous pulling out and pulling snow or whatever out, plowing across Marengo Road. What's your plans for doing that in the winter?
And when the winter, I want to buy the tractor, like when it will be the snow to plow the snow to avoid the accidents.
Can you do vehicle maintenance on that property?
No, I don't want it.
No, I didn't ask if you wanted to. I said, can you with the classification of industrial?
I don't have idea.
I guess that's a question for the board.
You want to address?
Just for clarification, she runs the show, I answer if she tells me to answer, okay. I totally lost what you just asked, I'm sorry.
Vehicle maintenance on the
Vehicle
property.
maintenance, right, okay. Vehicle maintenance is allowed in the I-1, so he or any other person who owns the property could potentially do truck repair on the property.
Thanks.
My name's Joanne Hughes, and I live at 16002 Loretta, and that's Huntley. Couple questions. Number one, you want to rezone this to AI. How come you don't know all this stuff before, or do you know it? Like in this, what you can put on there, where you can sell it, what you can add, what you can take away?
Now, I was don't know before. I was asking the lawyer, and he was recommended to do the rezoning the I-1 because it's quicker and it's not too much problem. I mean to do like a B3, and I don't really need it for this property. The B3 zoning.
Well, so in other words, then you don't know all of what the conditions are that by going to A1?
Yes.
Okay. I1, whatever.
I1.
Okay, the other question is, you have 20 or 28 employees and these trucks are gonna remain on there. Are they coming in at all times of the day, nights? Because you did say you're gonna have security lights which kick on, and obviously they're gonna be quite bright.
Yes.
So if somebody's coming in at 2, 3, 4, whatever in the morning, these lights are all gonna go on and it's gonna look like El Pamonte's parking lot.
Answer your question.
Yes, the truck can come on every like 24 hours on the property, and
so there is no time.
Yeah, no time like on the 24 hours, but the lights will be like I would say like motion detection, and will be just turn on the dark side where is coming the truck, like not all of them on the same time. And it's not.
Well, lights are lights. If it's 1, 2 trucks or whatever the case may be. And the homes that are on there, which are 2 at this present time, correct?
Yes.
Okay, are you removing them?
No. if you will have approved for I-1, I want to the house, I want to remodeling and to make our office. Not for the, not.
One of them or both?
No, I want the house, I will keep it and I don't crash the house. I will keep the house.
Hello, I'm David Anderson. I live at 10704 Pebble, about a mile from there. What was this land before? Well, it's beautiful land. What was that used for?
For agriculture. Right now we have the soil beam on the property.
No, but what was it used for before you bought it?
The soybeans.
Oh, okay, soybeans.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with a plan by McHenry County adopted in 2010 called the Comprehensive 2030 Plan for the county?
I don't.
It guides all the decisions these dudes make. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
No, you weren't. The questions on that form ask you to address that 2030 plan. Were you aware of that?
Yeah.
So let me read you from the plan and ask me if you address that. Here's the goal. The major goal for land use.
He did answer the questions. They were addressed.
Let me ask, did you, I didn't hear it. Let me repeat this. The goal is let me ask you, how do you preserve the county's natural water and agricultural resources with this plan? That's what the land use says in 2030.
He did address the standards that we asked. I asked him about the comprehensive plan.
I guess I didn't understand it because it was a fragmented sentence. So I guess I don't understand what he was saying. And I'm a former English teacher and I'm pretty good about listening and I didn't hear that answer. So can you tell me again? How do you preserve our agricultural resources in this county by what you're going to do?
I don't. I never thinking about the agricultural right to keep on the same the A2. I was. I would say before I was thinking to build a house and to pour the tree and keep it the grass. I don't want it to affect it, the lands around the property, like house on the crossing the street. It's keeping the same crossing the street. I saw the same as the soil beams. I don't want to do this on the future. If the county will allow me to do the I-1, yes. If not, we'll try to make a permit to build the house, the new house on the property, and we'll put the grass and the tree around the property and we'll move in there and I'll live there.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else have a question?
Jim Kearns, 14714 Harmony Road, Huntly. Several questions for you. Before you bought the property in your realtors, did they tell you anything you could use this property for anything, or was it just A2 for a house?
I was don't know before I bought the property. I was don't know has the A2. I was thinking is the state. It's for the house, and after I bought the house, the property, I was showing the papers. It's the A2.
Okay, so the realtors presented this property to you. They did not tell you could run this type of a business there.
I don't really ask about this.
Okay. Have you contacted, this is a county road that you're located on your frontage. Have you contacted the county engineer at the Department of Transportation of what type of access would be required for that kind of truck traffic In other words, would they have to have a turn lane, in and out, right and left turn lanes? Would that have to be those improvements?
So he is
that you would have
asking
to
you if you
pay?
contacted the county transportation.
So you haven't contacted them?
Yeah, noted.
So you don't know what your cost would be involved to put in turn lanes, which would be you're required to do, not the county?
No, I don't ask.
Okay. So you're not aware of your cost in this project, to even know if you could feasibly do it?
Yes, right.
Okay. So have you contacted the planning and development about what requirements you would have to do to improve this property for that? In other words, well, answer the question first. Have you contacted them before you started this project?
Well, he would, to start the project, he had to contact them to file the.
To start this, but my next question, let me ask you this. Did you get a violation, did they contact you first for a violation, or did you contact them afterwards?
No, first for the violation.
You got a violation?
Yes.
Are those violations still open?
Yes, still.
Okay. How many trailers, I don't know if anybody asked you this question, I didn't hear that answer. You've got 20 tractors.
Yeah.
How many trailers do you currently own or lease that would also be on this property?
It's the same, the 20 trailers.
So 20, okay.
Yes.
And there's currently trailers parked there now?
No.
Yes. There are trailers there. There's several trailers.
I have it right now on the property. I have two bobtails, one commercial trailer, and 4 trailers, but it's not commercial, it's personal trailers.
My time is up. My last thing, I would suggest you speak to the county engineers on the road for the turn.
You can talk about that in your comments.
So please do that.
Any other questions?
Vicki Anderson, 10704 Pebble Drive. I know nothing about tractor trailers. Zilch, I clean teeth for a living. What safeguards as a trucking company do you have to prevent diesel, gas, oil, lubricants from going into the ground? I drink my well water and I love it, and I don't want it to be polluted. So what safeguards as a trucking company do you do to protect our drinking water?
I mean, the trucks and trailers, it's has the annual inspection every year, and if you has the oil leak or the fuel leak, the DOT can pull over and get a ticket. And I mean, the trucks don't have the oil leak or the fuel leak. I mean, can have it stay on the property.
Well, I still don't understand. Your truck and tractor could be parked there for months and it could be leaking and nobody would know. How do you know that they're not leaking?
I mean, every driver is need to check in the truck, like every morning and evening, like when it starts.
Does that really happen?
Sometimes.
Just let him answer the question.
Well, let's be honest. They check for oil leaks every morning and every afternoon, every morning and evening.
The every morning, yes, but afternoon, I can
So
say
there's no
nothing.
guarantees that my drinking water is going to be polluted?
Yes.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
My name is Socorro Rivera, I'm 9418 Hilltop Road, just here.
Oh.
So, my question, I have two questions. First question is, I know you have a trucking company, and during the winter, you have to keep the engine block warm. How are you gonna do that? Are you gonna idle your trucks all night, or are you gonna put electrical heaters to keep the engine block warm? If you are idling them or keeping them overnight?
Nobody overnight it's keeping the truck idling. I mean, most of the trucks right now, the brand new trucks has the AP unit, but it's keeping the engine hot and with no idle and no noise.
Okay.
And in the morning when I come, just start the truck and go like in 5-10 minutes.
My next question is how many lights can you put on that property? And how often will they be on, 24/7?
No, I already say before, I want to put only 5 lights on the property, on the each corner, and 1 light on the gate when it's coming in and out, the truck, so.
Okay, I have another question I need to point to the, you said just about here, you're going from here, that will be all gravel?
No, I can show you.
Again, with the I-1 zoning, he can do as much as,
I want it like from here, like that, and make it the driveway, right.
Okay, so my question with that is, have you, do you have any information about putting gravel, and I don't know, that has to be inches of gravel, because that does slope down that property, and we know, since we live next door to it, whenever there's a lot of precipitation, rain or snow, that does flood a little bit that field, especially as you get to the corner, so, especially as you get closer to Marengo Road. So my question is, do you know how much the impact of putting gravel on there, the amount of gravel you're going to be putting on there is going to affect how the water runs within that field that's still left, and the impact that that has to our well water and our septic?
I don't know, to be honest. I have to ask the engineer, and the engineer will, should be help me with this.
I thought I read something of there was a water study, but it didn't, I don't think addressed anything about putting that amount of gravel on that, in that area. Which you're proposing or changing the driveway.
he said he didn't know.
Okay, okay.
Good afternoon, Kyle Mueller, 9401 Emily Lane. So you claim to be a business person, correct?
Yes.
And your goal is to obviously make money with your trucking company and to control your costs, it sounds like.
Yes.
Okay, and you are currently obviously invested in this property, and it sounds like leasing another property and potentially looking to, again, buy commercial property somewhere else.
Yes.
So as an entrepreneur that potentially might want a gas station at this location, what is stopping you from selling that to me 6 months down the road for $5 million?
I never thinking about this.
That's all I have.
Anyone else? Okay, at this time, we'll take testimony from the public, starting with the staff.
Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Anna Kurtzman, Senior Planner. The applicant is asking to reclassify from A2 to I1. They did initially start their petition under a B3, learned that they would have to apply for a conditional use with that, and with the understanding of the cost and time involved. I advised him that he could also do you say he wants under I1. So that's how it changed from B3 to I1 in his application. Property is currently, as I said, A2. Properties in the area are already zoned for residential uses to the south and to the east and to the west are I1, I2, and E.
Are you in A1 and A2?
Did I say I? He said
Yes, you said I.
I'm taking it from someone else here. A1, A2, and what is that? E1. Okay. And to the north there is I1. Okay. So
To the north is
north is
A1.
A1. I'm going to slow down. Okay. The uses to the north are agricultural fields. Two properties to the east, south, and west are used for residential purposes. The comprehensive plan has this area designated as a state classification. Industrial is not a use that would typically be considered a compatible with the state use. Want to clarify a couple of things that have been brought up so far. Zoning establishes a potential use or series of uses for a property. Yes, this particular applicant has a specific game plan in mind, but any use that is in the I-1 district can potentially be placed on property. Any application for a change in land use goes through a series of additional permitting processes after the use is established, after the allowed use is established. So for example, on this particular one, this is Marengo Road. It is controlled by McDOT. McDOT would require a study to be done and potentially may indicate that additional improvements need to be made in order to use the property. They would require a dedication of land as part of their review. Stormwater review, building permits would all be part of the process involved. Under those scenarios, we'd be looking at whether it was meeting the stormwater control ordinance, whether it's meeting the Unified Development Ordinance, things under the Unified Development Ordinance that are likely to be triggered with this is that it'd have to be paved. Any lighting would have to be shielded. That it would have to be screened, typically by fence, not necessarily, but a fence or a wall or something of that nature. Someone else had asked a question about maintenance. Maintenance of vehicles are allowed if it's inside a building. It cannot be done outside. So I just want to clarify the statement I made earlier. So, because of the uses in the area, because of...
Speak into the microphone so we can hear. Yeah, really. Turn it up.
Oh, maybe your microphone is not very good, Anna. Can you bring it a little closer to you, maybe closer to your mouth?
Okay. Renee's going to try to turn it up.
Okay.
So let's see. That's a little bit better. Okay. Now I'm going to move it a little bit away. Okay. Because of the uses in the area and the comprehensive plan designation for estate, staff is not supporting this request.
Any members of the board have questions for staff? Yeah, Charlie, go ahead.
Yes, Anna, just want to clarify a couple of points. One, with regard to drain tiles under the property that drain the property, that move drainage from other properties onto other drain locations. Am I correct that that would have to be maintained, and if any action by petitioner now or in the future damaged them, he would be responsible for repairing them?
So drainage law is not my forte, but it is my understanding that water that enters the property under drain tile, sheet, however it's entering the property, cannot be released any faster, any more than what was normally there. So yes, they would have to maintain the drain tiles in order to ensure that the water was flowing appropriately.
And if he changed the characteristics of if he created impervious surface, he would have to provide detention of some sort so that it would not flow on the neighbor's property any faster.
It depends on the amount of impervious area, but given where
A
he's
substantial
talking about,
industrial one typically requires substantial
there's
detention.
a good possibility that drainage facilities would have to be provided.
And likewise, if he wished to do maintenance of vehicles, it not only would have to be inside a building, it would have to be inside a building
With
that
drain tiles,
met
right.
appropriate drainage and other commercial standards
Yes.
before it could be done.
Yes.
That's all I've got.
Mr. Cohen?
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Aaron, would you know, and I apologize for not bringing this question so you could do your research earlier, how long has the property to the west that adjoins the subject property have that zoning or platted or approved?
I don't know the exact dates, but it has been there for a while.
And that a while in zoning means
Probably more than a decade.
More than a decade has been the residential use to the west. And
Please be quiet, audience, so that we can pick up the recording.
also, has any comment been received from Lake in the Hills as a municipality or Huntley as a municipality to the east?
No.
Thank you. That concludes my questions.
Ms. Donner, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. I just, a clarification.
Speak into
You are
the
tell-
microphone.
It is on.
Okay, good.
Is it on?
Yeah.
I can see. No, I'm sorry. Yes, when Anna was talking about the regulations for I-1, that it has to be paved? Did you know that it has to be paved?
Yes.
Okay, so when you're telling me that you're going to be using grass or gravel, that's not exactly what you have to do. It's gonna have to be a little bit different than that, should we approve this, and you understand that.
More expensive, I know.
Then the other question I have for you.
Any questions for staff?
Only
Right now it's
for
for staff.
Anna, okay. Then that's all I have for right now. Thank you.
Yep, down here. Ms. Gardner?
There was some mention made that there are trucks right now on the property, trailers, tractors, and the petitioner stated that those are allowed as an A1, is that correct?
Okay, so the regulation is that you can have 2 commercial plated vehicles on the property.
As an A1 or A2?
In any district.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Schnabel?
No questions.
So like the purpose, I'm reading in the zoning ordinance, the purpose of an I-1 district, and it's saying that they're generally located away from residential development and near transportation facilities and municipalities. Can you tell me like the distance from this to the nearest municipality?
Here's my report over there. Thank you. I don't know the exact distance. I can tell you that there is no municipality within a mile and a half.
And as far as major highway, transportation facilities, how far?
Well, Marengo Road is a county road, so it'd be considered a major road.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's all my questions. So at this time, we will now take your comments. If any member of the public has a comment, and again, I'm going to ask you to not be duplicating what someone else would be saying. so that we can get through this petition today and maybe vote on it if the petitioner would like us to vote, but here's your opportunity. Again, you'll need to come up, identify yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Can I also add that for these comments, you'll really be addressing us as we're making the decision here? And I would ask that everybody please be respectful.
My name again is Phil Lengel, and I live at 9703 Seaman Road. I jotted something down, so I'm going to read it. Nearly 23 years ago, my wife and I moved to our present home in Union, Illinois. We didn't make this decision lightly, as we knew this home was where we would raise our family. Many of our friends from the suburbs and city wondered why we would move to a rural community so far west of Chicago. We knew the reason, and so did they as soon as they came to visit our quiet and serene 5-acre estate. The lack of traffic congestion, lack of air pollution, lack of noise pollution, lack of light pollution, and abundant wildlife was enjoyed by us and our friends. Like most of our neighbors, we have taken advantage of our Ag 1 zoning, and we have a barn with horses, a chicken coop full of belly fielder hens. The idyllic country setting we so thoroughly cherish would be seriously jeopardized, if not entirely lost, if this board approves the pending rezoning request. Our once serene and picturesque country neighborhood would become home to the thunderous noise and air pollution caused by the parade of semi-trucks on our once quiet country roads. The beautiful wildflower field that once existed on this property has already been razed to make way for a commercial semi-trucking facility. Please help us preserve our chosen lifestyle and protect our country lifestyle by denying the rezoning request. I fear if this request were granted, it might serve as a precedent for future rezoning requests, which would utterly destroy our beautiful, tight-knit community.
Applause is not tolerated. You state your views. Go ahead.
Lori Cisneros, 9908 Harmony Hill Road. I'm here today representing Coral Township. I am a township trustee, and I also sit on our planning commission as a township liaison. So I'm here to read the letter that I believe you all had read, but I wanted to do it for the public's knowledge as well, from Bill Damish. Dear Chairman Kusta and ZBA members, both the Coral Township Board and the Coral Township Planning Commission opposed petition 2023-035 requesting a land use change. At the time it was from A1 to B3 for the following reasons. This request is not consistent with the Coral land use map or York County's land use map. Number 2, the proposed zoning change is not consistent with the zoning of nearby properties. Number 3, this change will not fulfill a significant need in the township. Number 4, this change will negatively impact adjacent property values. And number 5, probably what we saw is extremely important. If approved, this land use change will establish an entering wedge of incompatible use and set a precedent for future planning. The Coral Township land use map designates this type of commercial business along the Route 20 corridor. I know as the counties does as well. Sincerely, Bill Damish. I'd also like to mention that our plan commission is very active currently. We are looking at updating our map. It hasn't been updated since 1997, and I can assure you that we have no plans for B3 or industrial along Marengo Road. Thank you.
Lori, I just have a quick question for you, because your letter was regarding a B3 rezoning, and this is now I1.
Right, and we would have, that's what I said. We viewed this prior, we had no knowledge until I came here today. I'm not sure how a township would get alerted to that, but I had no knowledge as a member of the township board or plan commission that it had been changed to I1. So yes, we oppose it as an I1 petition as well. Thank you for asking.
Joe Lockey on Seaman Road in Huntley. The coyotes and the hawks ate all my chickens. But Nancy just got some. Previously she stated that the it wasn't a good fit. It is inconsistent with the plan I read on your website and inconsistent with the neighborhood. It's out of character for the whole neighborhood. It's still a residential area. Someone mentioned the school. Those kids use that. I've lived there 25 years, and they use that Seaman Road, those teenagers. And with truck traffic, it could be a safety hazard all the way through. And, I just think it's a poor fit, and I think it would be our responsibility to vote no.
Vicki Anderson, 10704 Pebble Drive. As Joni Mitchell said, please don't pave over our paradise.
I can't hear you.
Please do not pave over our paradise and turn it into a parking lot. Pave paradise, put a sock in the heart.
Tyler Wilkie again, if I may address the board. So I don't want to reiterate the same things that we've talked about, but the approval standards, when I ran through those approval standards, it's not compatible with the existing surrounding uses. In the second use, the A1 to A2 that was switched in May, in fact, brings it into a more conforming use as a rural residence, splitting those properties in half. And now we look to change it into an I1 zoning that will take away from that rural residency that in May we said was the right use. As an A2 use, it promotes the health and safety and welfare and preserves that rural landscape. The public will gain that continued preservation and the open spaces that many have come to know and love. We know it is suitable for this and not that lingering old zoning because of that A1 to A2 change. It has not been vacant. There is not a specific need for this use here. And it is not compliant with the comprehensive plan, which has the whole southwest corner of Marengo and Seaman going to estate uses. Also, I've compiled the best of hit of the I1 uses, as we're not really talking about the proposed use, but of a change in the underlying zoning that will allow for multitude of uses. That would include agricultural implement sales, amusement facility indoor, arena, athletic facility indoor, auto dealership, auto rental, auto repair, major and minor, crematorium, gas station, heavy retail sales and service, household hazardous waste collection facility, lumberyard, parking lot, parking structure, restaurant, and finally, the storage yard. Finally, when researching this petition, I believe this is what is a classic spot zoning application. That spot zoning would be an unlawful change when the change violates that zoning pattern that's homogeneous, compact, and uniform. Here we have E1, A2 rural residences, and a change to an industrial use, an industrial zoning would break that pattern. So with that, I know that we would request that the petition be denied. Thank you.
One 4614 Marengo Road, Union, Jessica Degner. My family and I, we are actually third generation at our property just down the road from this. I'm raising 5 children on that family farm, and we've been there forever, and we don't want to go anywhere, and we don't want to see any more increased traffic on this road. There have been so many fatalities in my front yard alone, and I can't see something like this making things any better. So please take that into consideration. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Kim Martin, 9617 Seaman Road. I am a victim of what can happen on that road. I was in a very, very tragic accident. 40 days in intensive care, 9 months of therapy, 9 months in a wheelchair. Please do not let any more semi-traffic on to this road that is already there.
Ted Robinson, I live at 9406 Knolltop, right on the corner between Moringa Road and Knolltop Road. So basically, what he wants to put his driveway in is maybe 100 yards or so behind my house. Trucks, I drove over the road. Trucks have engine brakes. In order to slow down, they're slowing down by my house if they're going east. If they're coming the other way, they're slowing down by somebody else's house. And then they've got to pull in there, and that road is not wide enough to make it a single lane turn. The drivers are going to have to swing out into the opposite lane to make that corner. And everybody behind them is going to be backed up. And that road has a dip right before Knolltop. If a car is in that spot, you can't see it, and it doesn't see you until it comes up the crest. And then they have to be able to stop. So I think it's a dangerous situation, and it's not proper for that area. I'm sorry.
(8417) Seaman Road, Gail Johnson. My husband and I lived here for almost 40 years. We have an old farmhouse on Seaman Road. Probably 30 years ago, somebody bought the 40 acres around us, tried to put in a cement business. They went through the county. That would have been disastrous. We're in an estate area. I beg you guys in the county to do what you need to do. Last time you saved us. Otherwise, we would have a cement mixer right next to my house. Trucks going all over. We have about, where I live, I know about four businesses that are run out of their house. I have no complaint about that. But if something like this happens, where we get industrial, Seaman Road would be a mess.
Yeah.
Just an absolute mess. We have trucks racing up and down that road for school. Morning and night, it's a rush hour. Kids, accidents, it's horrible. Adding trucks like this would be a disaster. Please do your job and keep it residential. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have any closing statements, sir?
No.
There are only 6 people here to vote. You're entitled to 7. You need 5 votes to go to the county board for an affirmation that we have approved this. Would you like to go ahead with 6 people, or do you want to wait till you have 7?
I'll go ahead with 6 people.
Okay. All right, so at this time, we will close the hearing portion of this meeting, and we will go to the voting portion of the meeting. So at this time,
Madam Chairman, I move approval for purpose of discussion, approval of the petition.
Okay, motion by Mr. Eldridge. Is there a second?
Mary Donner.
Second by Ms. Donner. Discussion, Mr. Eldridge.
Yes, this is a 6 or 7 acre parcel on Marengo Road, not far from, I guess, almost 8 acre parcel, located on the south side of Marengo Road, near Seaman Road in rural Union, Illinois. In my view, this is pretty much the locus classicus of spot zoning. There's no industrial anywhere close. There's no commercial anywhere close. It is an area that is primarily agricultural zoning, either A1 or A2, and is mixed between estate residential and traditional row crop agricultural. It is not in a corridor that looks like it is going to turn into commercial of any sort in the foreseeable future. It's not that far from the Grant Highway corridor, which has parts that probably will become commercial in the not distant future. It is not on a corner, which might be suitable for a little local retail of some sort. One of the things that in the decade plus that I've been on this board, this board has tried to clean up is some ancient industrial zoning put for reasons that I do not understand in areas that have never been used for industrial and are unsuitable for industrial. I believe this is unsuitable for industrial. I believe it is unsuitable for heavy commercial zoning. In my view, virtually none of the standards for a zoning change have been met. And in fact, I found a good bit of petitioner's testimony on the standards would support denial rather than approval. And for all of these reasons, I'm going to oppose this petition.
Mr. Schnabel.
Thank you, Mr. Eldridge. I would just like to say I was sitting here thinking to myself very, on a personal level, I've been an honor and privilege to serve on this board for the past 8 years. And the comment I'm going to make is no reflection at all on the petitioner. But I really believe this is the most egregious and absurd request for spot zoning that I've heard in those 8 years, especially industrial spot zoning. So I think you probably know where I stand on the petition.
Thank you. I understand that the petitioner has gone to a deal of trouble to get this far in this process. That he, in good faith has put in this petition to change this zoning. The zoning is very troublesome to me. I really don't want to see any industrial zoning or any business zoning in that particular area. I have no problem with that particular business that the petitioner is putting forth. I'm sure that done properly, this can be a compatible thing, just not in this particular place. This is not a place for industrial or even business zoning in my. Thank you.
Mr. Croson.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Going to the process, it brought us here, and it is a process that is one that needs to be commended because it is these types of petition that shows how we best illustrate the decorum and the civility of bringing forward the facts so that we as the Zoning Board of Appeals and the applicant knows how the decision process will work. And I look forward to sitting on this board and taking these equally tough applications with this type of record, even though it is one that the decision will be not to support this application. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Ms. Dunn.
I love the idea that you want to do something with this property. And I have a feeling that you would be using it in accordance with all of the things that you said. But underlying is an I-1 that anybody can use for a lot of other things should you get tired of it or want to do something else. And I think, quite frankly, some of the horse before the cart before the horse, sorry. I-1. Had you been able to get some extra information available to you and find out that this would be a very expensive project to get into. Don't have any idea of exactly what that would be, but if you have to have a pavement and you have to have a driveway and you have to have other things, it probably is was thoughtful but not thought-filled. I will be voting against this.
And I'll just say that, I think maybe the petitioner, as you say, you bought this property and then decided to change your mind. But I just don't think that you were well enough informed as to the standards that we have in this county on property and how it can be used. And we have a zoning ordinance that is really there to protect the citizens of this county and to make it so that when a land use is changed, that it has to meet certain standards. And in this case, I agree with Mr. Eldridge, and I don't think any of the standards have been met in this case. And I don't believe that it's suitable in this area. I don't believe it's consistent with a comprehensive plan. And kudos to you for bringing it forward, for trying to do something, but it's just in the wrong place. And it's a residential zone area, an agricultural zoned area, and I do not believe that it is suitable for industrial, so I will be voting against it as well. So again, if you're voting, an aye vote would be to approve this, a nay vote would be not to approve this. So I'll call for the vote. Mr. Eldridge?
Nay.
Ms. Gardner?
No.
Mr. Cozen?
Nay.
Mr. Schnabel?
Nay.
Ms. Donner?
Nay.
And I vote nay, so this is denied, or this vote fails by 6 to 0. 0 to 6, I should say.
Madam Chairman, I, in that case, move denial of a petition.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion been made by Mr. Eldridge, seconded by Ms. Gardner to deny the petition. I will call for the vote. Mr. Eldridge, again, this would be aye, would be to deny it. Mr.
Aye.
Eldridge. Ms. Gardner.
Aye.
Mr. Cozen.
Aye.
Mr. Schnabel.
Aye.
Ms. Donner.
Aye.
And I will vote aye, so this will go to the county board with a 6 to 0 vote to deny this petition. At this time, you may